A 40-year battle, a weapons giant, and a moment that refused to give up. Well, today, people across the US, they are protesting the weapons pipeline that arms Israel's war in Gaza. From Auckland to Brooklyn, from Boston to Minneapolis, activists are blocking shipments. They are pressurizing local governments, demanding airports enforce arms embargoes, and calling for weapon companies to be abandoned from public spaces. But this moment has a powerful lesson from history. Basically, a story almost forgotten. A story about a group in Minneapolis that took one of America's biggest weapon makers and actually forced the change. Now, this is the story of Honeywell Project, a 40-year-old revelation that shows exactly how people can disrupt the US-Israel weapon pipeline today. It all began with a question: who is building the weapons that killed the civilians? Back in 1968, during the Vietnam War, a small group of Catholics, feminists, students, and anti-war veterans, along with workers, they started investigating the weapon factories around Minneapolis. What they found, it shocked them. Honeywell, the same company that made thermostats and home devices, was actually the largest weapon manufacturers in Minnesota. That's right. And one of the most deadly products that they made? Cluster bombs. Bombs not to destroy buildings but to tear through a human flesh. Each mother bomb, it burst open midair, scattering thousands of bomblets, tiny killing machines responsible for tens of thousands of civilians' death in Vietnam and Laos. Now, this discovery, it lit a fire, and the Honeywell project, it was born. The moment grows and it gets real now. Organizers, they began knocking on doors, educating the neighborhoods, collecting documents, exposing military contracts, and building the alliances. They were not rich, they were not powerful, they were ordinary people, be it office workers, students, mothers, priests. But they had persists and they had each other. And soon, Minneapolis, it became the center of a growing national anti-weapon movement. And then came the day that shocked the entire Minneapolis. October 24th, 1983, organizers planned a small demonstration, maybe 200 people. Instead, thousands showed up. That's right, they surrounded Honeywell's headquarters, they blocked every entrance. They shut down the building for 12 days straight. People sat in the streets, locked arms, sang songs, held signs, stood their ground. When the police arrived, they began mass arrest. Probably 577 activists were taken into custody, one of the biggest arrest events in Minneapolis history. But something powerful happened that day. Basically, a message was sent. You cannot profit from war without resistance, and that's the secret to their success. The Honeywell project learned just one truth very early. They don't just fight the weapons company, they disrupt it from every single angle. They united the workers, helped the shareholders' actions, and exposed the contractors. With that, they disrupted the production line, sustained the protest for decades, and used art and community to build emotional momentum. And slowly, very slowly, they forced Honeywell to scale back its weapons production. It took more than 50 years, but the moment did crack the machine here. Now, why the stories matter today? So the US-Israel weapon pipeline is under intense public pressure. American weapons are killing civilians in Gaza just like cluster bombs killed civilians in Vietnam. And today's activists are rediscovering the truth the Honeywell project learned long ago. Change does not start in Washington, it starts at the factory gate, it starts at city council, it starts where the weapons are made. If you want to stop a war, you cut off its tools. Basically, history is speaking, and today's moment is listening.